This is a Kia. And if you're a South African, that may come as a shock to you, because we're used to seeing that badge on the nose of cars like the Picanto.
Not that the Kia Picanto is a bad little car, it's actually a solid little runaround. But for a company famous for producing little hatchbacks, for them to bring out a GT car with a twin-turbo V6 sending all of its power to the rear wheels is about as surprising to us South Africans as government bringing out an honest politician. This car is so far from a Picanto. The V6 up front produces over 270 kilowatts and 500 newton meters of torque. It will do 0 to 100 in under 5 seconds, and the chassis was honed on the Nürburgring. But unfortunately, they'll never be able to bring out an edition named after that racetrack, because then this would be the Nürburgring Stinger edition.
Either way, they've decided to bring the Stinger to our roads in very limited numbers, and you will have to part with a certain amount of rands if you'd like one.
895,995 of your rands to be precise, which, you know, is quite a lot of money. So, is it worth it? Let's start with the looks, because they are superb from any angle. I really like this wide front fender which leads into the swooping headlight. It actually reminds me of the Lexus LFA, which is never a bad thing. And in terms of overall size, it's slightly shorter than a BMW 5 Series, but it's actually lower and wider, which gives it this really purposeful, low-slung stance. When it comes to the rear, I love the taillight design, and you might be interested to know that, like an Audi A5 for instance, it's actually a sportback. Right, moving on, because I'm almost certain that you're more interested in the way this car drives. So, let's flick it into sport mode and find out. Holy crap! This car is an absolute sledgehammer. And because it's so solidly built and so quiet in the cabin, you don't even notice that you are doing Learjet velocities. Although it's not razor sharp, it's definitely not wallowy, but the weight balance of the car feels really just about perfect. A little bit rear biased, does feel like you can sort of steer it a bit with your right foot. And the steering is perfectly weighted as well, just the right amount of feedback coming through the wheel. The throttle response is super impressive in this Stinger. I don't know how they've done it, but there's almost no turbo lag in this car. Oh man, this is good to drive. This is a properly fast car, but it's a bit confusing. It's not entirely a fast barge like some big German saloon, but it's also not a tightly wound sports car, somewhere in the middle. But I don't think any of that matters, because for this car to be successful, for this Stinger to be Kia's halo car, it needs to do one thing. It needs to make you feel like a hero. And for that, we're going to need a racetrack. And so, today, my challenge to myself is to drift this Stinger.
But first, I'm going to need some advice. This is Ernest Page, a man who has spent over a decade harnessing his drifting skills. He has competed in this mystical sport and he has been victorious. I call him the Oracle.
Oracle, I need some help. I need you to teach me how to drift.
The first thing you need to realize, Ciro, is that there is no spoon.
What? Why are we talking about spoons? Look, okay, it doesn't have a handbrake, right? So how do I initiate? How do I get it to step out?
Yeah, Have a cookie. I baked it this morning.
I don't want a cookie. Okay, look, when I've got it stepped out, right? Do I feed the throttle in gently or what? Why are you smoking? This is not helping me in the slightest. Look, I just need some help. I've never drifted an auto before.
Ciro, what are you really here to ask me?
What if I fail?
You can't. They'll rip you off in the comments section.
Right, the Oracle has given me some tips. Concentrate. Let's start gentle. We're just going to try drift it, get some oversteer going on the exit. That was a complete fail. Okay. Right. Don't cock this up. Don't cock this up. Don't cock this up. Oh. Small little accident. Nothing major. Just a little crash.
Clearly, I needed some help, and so the Oracle performed a drifting dance to the gods and sent me back out again.
Baby steps, baby steps. Let's get some oversteer. Woo! Woo! Hey Ernest, that actually felt alright.
Alright.
Yes, man.
With my confidence back up, there was nothing left to do but practice.
I'm sure I have a perfectly calm look on my face. I imagine that when I'm mid-drift there, all you're seeing here is a picture of serenity.
And finally, it just clicked.
Start getting on the power there. Oh, I'm doing a drift. That felt good. Oh my word, there's an amazing feeling. I now know why people around the world spend so much money on this crap. Going again, going again. Woo! I didn't spin out. I'll have that cookie now.
This is the weirdest Kia I've ever driven. It's also the best, but make no mistake, this is not just a great Kia, it's a great car.
Right, result. This Kia has made me feel like a hero. It's such a nice feeling. In the words of the great Enrique Iglesias, I can be your hero, baby. I can wash away the pain, and I will stand by you. God, this terrible voice.
The Cars.co.za YouTube channel is the largest branded channel in South Africa by subscribers. We'd love for you to join the family. Click on this round logo down here and that'll subscribe you to us.